Welcome. On behalf of Linfield University, it is my privilege to be the first to welcome you to 2026 Commencement. It is my honor to offer an invocation to begin our celebration. To the source of knowledge, wisdom, and community, we give thanks on this auspicious day as we celebrate the culmination of these students' time at Linfield. We are particularly thankful for the good work these students have done, for the perseverance they have developed and displayed as they encountered obstacles, setbacks, and fatigue along the way. We are thankful for the moments of joy they have experienced, whether with friends or working alone, whether on the playing field, in a lab or studio, among the books in the library, or merely walking the grounds, soaking in the beauty of this campus. We are thankful for those who have walked with these students to support them in their years here, for family, friends, professors and staff, mentors and role models, and the ways which each of these have given of themselves to encourage these students along. We are thankful for personal growth, new perspectives upon the world, their neighbors, and themselves gained during this journey. We are thankful for the ways each book read, conversation had in class, or relationship with a friend or mentor has shaped them and goes with them. Today, we send them forth with our thanks for sharing their precious selves with us for a season, with hope and trust in the good they will bring to the world into which they go, and confidence that the communities in which they land will be better, kinder, and richer places because of all that these soon-to-be graduates will bring. Amen. Please be seated.
Good morning. I am Lucinda Day Fournier, a member of the class of 1995 and chair of the Board of Trustees. It is my great privilege to welcome the graduates, families, faculty, staff, alumni, trustees, and honored guests. Congratulations, you did it, graduates. Your time here has been marked by hard work, curiosity, resilience, and growth. You have challenged yourself in the classroom, contributed to college campus, and formed lasting friendships. You've left your mark here, and you carry Linfield with you now wherever you go. To our faculty and staff, thank you for the care, dedication, and wisdom you bring to Linfield every day. You have helped shape not only educated graduates, but thoughtful and engaged citizens. To the family and loved ones, your support, your sacrifices, your faith in these graduates brought them to this moment. This is your celebration too. As board chair, I want you to know this: wherever your paths lead, you will always remain part of this Linfield community. From this day forward, you join generations of alumni who carry the mission and values of this institution into this world. Congratulations to class of 2026, and job well done.
Thank you, Lucinda. Good morning and welcome. Thank you for being here for one of the most meaningful days in the life of this university. It is a privilege to stand with you as we celebrate the class of 2026. To the graduates, congratulations. You've earned this moment through years of persistence, curiosity, late nights, early mornings, and more than a few unexpected turns along the way. I also want to offer a sincere thank you. My first year serving as Linfield's president has been memorable in many ways, but none more so than the opportunity to spend it alongside this graduating class. I've enjoyed cheering from the sidelines, sharing meals with you, and getting to know Linfield that much better through hearing of your experiences. Of course, I recognize something important as well. For you, this journey began long before I arrived. In many ways, I've only had the privilege of joining you for one chapter of a multi-year story that you've been writing since you first set foot on campus. And what a story it has been. The Linfield experience is often described in many ways, but at its heart, it is about learning by doing, growing by engaging, and discovering what you are capable of when you are challenged, supported, and inspired. Some of you discovered that in hospital rooms and clinics, learning not only the science of nursing, but the art of caring for people at their most vulnerable moments. You learn to steady your hands and your hearts and in doing so, you will now go on to study the lives of others. Some of you found it on the field, the court, or the track, where early mornings, late practices, and relentless discipline became the foundation for teamwork, resilience, and achievement. You learned how to win with humility and how to grow through setbacks with determination. Others found it in laboratories and field sites, completing collaborative research projects where questions mattered as much as the answers. You learned how to think critically, how to test ideas, and how to contribute something new to the world of knowledge, even as an undergraduate. And still others found it on the stage or in rehearsal rooms through music, performance, and art, where creativity and expression became a way of connecting with others. You reminded us that beauty, discipline, and courage often arrive together. Of course, most of you experienced not just one of these paths, but many of them. That is what makes this class and this institution so distinctive. You didn't just learn in classrooms. You lived your education across our campuses, throughout our communities, and in collaboration with one another. Along the way, many of you built friendships that will last far beyond today. Connections formed in classrooms, residence halls, athletic fields, labs, rehearsal spaces, and late-night study sessions. You also formed meaningful bonds with faculty and staff through mentorship, guidance, and study support. These connections became a source of encouragement on difficult days, trusted collaborators in your work, and shared partners in celebrating your achievements. In many ways, the people you met here are as much as a part of your Linfield story as any course you took. While at Linfield, you met challenges you didn't anticipate and discovered strengths you didn't yet know you had. You adapted, you persevered, and you kept going, even when the path wasn't clear. That is what today represents, not only completion, but transformation. So, as we celebrate you, we also recognize the people who made this journey possible. At this time, I'd like to recognize two individuals whose impact on Linfield extends across generations of students. The title of Professor Emeritus is an honor granted by the Board of Trustees to retiring faculty members in recognition of distinguished and meritorious service to the university. It is my privilege to invite Dr. Tien Bao She to stand and be recognized for this designation. I would also like to recognize a retiring staff member who has likewise been granted emeritus status in recognition of more than 3 decades of service to Linfield. Please join me in recognizing Creative Director Candido Salinas III. Thank you both for your extraordinary service, your leadership, and your lasting contributions to Linfield and its students. To our faculty and staff in attendance today, thank you for your dedication, your mentorship, your patience, and your belief in our graduating students. You did far more than teach content. You helped shape confidence, character, and purpose. To families and friends, thank you for your encouragement, your sacrifices, your calls and texts, your care packages and ride home, and your steady presence through every high and low. This achievement belongs to you as well. Graduates, I now ask that you stand and look around you. There are people who supported you, believed in you, and walked beside you every step of the way. Let's take a moment to thank the faculty, the staff, families, friends, mentors, and classmates who helped bring you to this day. You may be seated. Congratulations, class of 2026. You have made us proud. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce McKenna Pyatt Knapp, Chair of the Linfield University Alumni Council. McKenna Knapp has deep Wildcat roots. Her husband, sister, mom, and aunt are also Linfield alums. A 2013 graduate with majors in health education and religious studies, she went on to earn her master's degree from Arizona State University. Today, McKenna and her husband, Eric, also class of 2013, live in Eugene with their 2 children. She serves as Director of Development for the College of Design at the University of Oregon, and Eric is an Assistant District Attorney prosecuting major crimes in Lane County. Here to bring you greetings is McKenna Knapp.
Hello. Today, I bring you greetings from more than 31,000 Linfield alumni around the world, and it is my honor to welcome you as the newest members of this community. Graduates, in just a few moments, you will walk across this stage and officially become Linfield alumni. And I want to be clear about something. You're not leaving Linfield. You are carrying it with you. because what makes this space special is not confined to a campus. It's something that you take into every room, every risk, every next step. For generations, Linfield has done something rare. It has made people feel seen, truly seen. It's called people forward into versions of themselves that they hadn't fully stepped into yet. And if you're honest, there was probably a moment, maybe a big one, maybe a quiet one, when someone here saw something in you and didn't let you play small. That moment matters because it doesn't stay here, it becomes a part of you. It shows up later when you walk into a room and you don't feel ready, but you do it anyway. When you take a risk that you can't fully explain, when you become the person that someone else relies on. That's the Linfield effect, and it's already in motion in your life. The friendships you built here, they're not just memories, they are your people. The kind you will call years from now, the kind who show up, the kind who remind you who you are when you forget. And the life you built here will carry fingerprints of this place in ways that you won't fully understand until later. I know that's been true for me. My husband is a Linfield alum, and the life we've built, our family, our careers, our friendships, our values, even the way that we show up in the community, all trace back to this place. Linfield didn't just shape what I did, it shaped who I became. And now, that story becomes yours to carry forward. Because today, you are not just graduating, you are joining a network of people who will recognize you in airports, in meetings, in cities far from here, because you share something real, a connection that doesn't require explanation. And at some point, I promise it will happen sooner than you think, you will be the one to open a door, offer guidance, or see something in someone before they see it in themselves. When that moment comes, don't hesitate. That's how this place continues, not through traditions like today's beautiful ceremony, but through people, through you. So wherever you go, be bold enough to try, steady enough to keep going, and grounded enough to remember where you started. Stay connected, show up for one another, and carry this place with you in a way that makes it stronger. Because Linfield changed all of our lives, and now you are a part of what allows it to change lives for generations long after today. Congratulations, class of 2026. Welcome to the alumni family. We have been waiting for you.
I'm now delighted to introduce our commencement speaker, Greg Nava. We are honored to have him and his wife, Barbara Martinez-Jittner, who is also a renowned and accomplished filmmaker, on campus for our commencement weekend celebrations. Gregory Nava is an award-winning director, filmmaker, and screenwriter. Nava has 4 movies that were inducted into the Library of Congress National Film Registry, which are deemed historically, culturally, and aesthetically important to our American film history. Frida El Norte, for which he received an Academy Award nomination, Mia Familia, and Selena, which won 4 American Latino Media Arts Awards and was nominated for a Golden Globe. In 2006, he produced, wrote, and directed the film Border Town, based on true events, a political theater about a series of unsolved murders in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico. Please welcome to the stage and help me introduce Greg Nava to the podium.
Thank you. Thank you all very much. It's such a beautiful day for such a beautiful event. And you know what? I have never been surrounded by so many wildcats in my life. I really, really want to congratulate all of these beautiful young people who are graduating today. And I want to hear all of you give yourself more than an applause. Give yourself a big shout out for having done this. Come on, let me hear you. Yeah. And to all the professors and the faculty and staff and family and friends who have supported these young people in their journey, let's hear it from you. Come on, give yourself a big shout out. Because this beautiful university is more than just buildings and classrooms. This university is a community of belief, where people tell young people that your mind matters, your voice matters, your future matters and is important. And so now you're graduating and you're leaving this university and going out into the real world. And that is very exciting, but it's also very frightening, you know? Because how do I find my path in this world that is so vast and so confusing? The university has been a home, a place where you feel safe, a place where you feel supported, and now you're going out into the vast unknown. And what is my compass to help me find my path? Your compass is your heart. Your heart will tell you the path that you must follow. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this book and I'm going to speak to you now from my heart. Your heart will tell you if you were meant to heal people, to build businesses, to compose music, to write books, to discover scientific secrets, to tell the stories, to make people understand each other. Your heart knows. You know, the ancient piece of indigenous wisdom from the ancient peoples here in the Americas has been very inspirational to me in my whole life and career. They believed in the path with the heart. And they believed that everybody has a unique path to follow in their life. And how do you find that path? What they believed, what they said, was you make your heart your face. You take what you have within you here and you put it here. Before you make your heart your face, you're blind. You can't see other people. You can't see the world. But the moment you make your heart your face, suddenly you can see. You can see other people, and other people can see you. And you can see your path with the heart. And they believed that finding the path with the heart wasn't some personal thing, some impractical thing. No, 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 no. They believed that it was your responsibility to find the path with the heart, that it was essential for you to find your path with the heart because the survival of society depended on it. When you found your path with the heart, then everybody who would be a healer would be a healer, and everyone who would be a poet would be a poet, and a warrior would be a warrior, and a farmer would be a farmer. And when everybody finds their path with the heart, they believed that the society finds its path with the heart, and the world is saved. And I believe that they were right. The world needs people who follow the path with the heart. There are so many challenges right now in our world. Climate change. And it's changing everything in our whole world that we live in. The political situation is so divided, we're tearing each other apart. And technology is advancing so quickly that our wisdom cannot keep up with it. And young people feel afraid and they feel isolated. Will there be a world for me and the children I want to have? Will I be replaced by AI? Well, I'm here to tell you to not be afraid, because you all have AI. You all have actual intelligence. And actual intelligence is far more powerful than artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a tool, but artificial intelligence can never lead, and it can never save the world because it does not have a heart. Yes, what I'm telling you is that you have a great responsibility, and it is overwhelming. Can I do this? Can I do this? Let me tell you a story. In 1965, the most oppressed people in this country, the farm workers in California who were working under slave conditions, no money, children working, no water, poisoned by pesticides. And a young activist named Dolores Huerta went to them and said, let us organize and let us get a better life for ourselves and for our families. And the farm workers looked at her and they went, Dolores, no se puede. We cannot do it. The growers are too powerful. We have nothing. They have everything. No se puede. And Dolores looked at them and she said, sí se puede. Yes, we can. And they organized and they won. The poorest, most downtrodden people in this country won, and they changed the face of America. And that cry of "Sí se puede" started to ring greater and outside of all the fields. And Barack Obama used "Sí se puede," yes, we can, as his rallying cry for his campaign, which got the first African American elected president of the United States. And I'm telling you, I have seen Dolores. She's now 96 years old. I was just with her. This is a woman who was beaten so badly by the police that she was declared dead. She was with Bobby Kennedy when he was assassinated. She has been through more hell than anybody can possibly imagine. And yet there she was at 96 years old, full of hope, full of fire, telling her audience, "Si se puede, si se puede, si se puede," and the whole audience was responding and lifting themselves up with her cry of "Si se puede," because hope is contagious, because courage is contagious, because heart is contagious. So, I am now going to ask you all a question. All right? And when I ask you this question, after I ask the question, I'm going to say, "Se puede." Can we do it? And then I want you all, with all your heart, to answer me and say, "Sí se puede." Okay? Can we do that? All right. Are you all going to go forward and find the path with the heart and not only build a career, but build a better world? ¿Se puede? All right, that was good, but that was very good. That was good for here and now for today. But I'm going to do it again, and this time I want you to say it so that all the generations that have led up to build you so that you can be in this place, all past generations can hear you, and so that they can feel pride in your accomplishment today. And all future generations that will benefit from all the learning and all the wisdom that you're going to bring to the world so that they can hear you as well. So let's let all of our ancestors hear us. Are we ready? ¿Se puede? ¿Se puede? Are you going to put compassion, live with compassion as opposed to cynicism? ¿Se puede? Are you all going to use your talents and your wisdom and your humanity to heal our world? ¿Se puede? ¿Se puede? Congratulations to all of you who are graduating here today. What you are receiving today is more than a diploma. You are receiving the future. And I have to tell you that in the last 2 days, I've spent a lot of time with many of you, and I now know that our future is in great hands because you're all so wonderful. Congratulations, class of 2026.
How about another round of applause for Greg Nava? It is now my sincere pleasure to introduce today's student speaker, Josie DeWitt. Josie came to Linfield from Grants Pass. While here, she majored in elementary education, participated on the golf team, and was a member of the Phi Sigma Sigma sorority. After graduation, Josie hopes to find a teaching job in Colorado. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Josie DeWitt.
I've been told that every great story starts with a moment of certainty, a clear, shining vision of where you're meant to go. For me, that moment came when I was 8 years old. I remember walking onto Linfield's campus for the first time and something just clicked. I didn't fully understand what college meant, and I definitely didn't know what it would take to get here. But I knew, in that moment, that this is where I wanted to be. Part of that feeling came from my dad, who went to Linfield before me. I had grown up hearing about this place, but standing there myself, it became real. It didn't feel far away or out of reach. It felt like home. While most kids were dreaming about what they wanted to be, I already knew where I wanted to be, Linfield. And somehow, even as a kid, I believed that one day I would stand here. Today, I am. But what I didn't know at 8 years old is that getting here wouldn't just be about achieving a dream. It would be about becoming someone new along the way. Because Linfield's more than a destination, it's a transformation. It's the early mornings when you question everything, and the late nights when you figure it out anyways. It's the professors who didn't just teach us what to think, but pushed us to discover who we are. It's the friendships that started as simple introductions and somehow became the people who know us better than we know ourselves. And somewhere, in between the classes, the stress, the laughter, and the uncertainty, we changed. Not all at once, not in ways that were always obvious, but slowly, quietly, and sometimes painfully, we grew. We came here from different places, carrying different dreams, different fears, and different versions of ourselves. And through every challenge, every setback, every moment we didn't think we were enough, we had each other. We studied together, struggled together, laughed until we couldn't breathe together, and in doing so, we built something that none of us could have built alone. We didn't just go to college here. We grew up here. We became a community. And that's what makes this moment so powerful. Because today isn't just about what we've accomplished, but it's about who we've become because one another. We've learned how to keep going when things didn't go as planned. We learned how to stand back up after falling short. We learned how to listen, how to lead, and how to show up for people, not just when it's easy, but when it matters the most. And maybe the most important thing we've learned is that growth doesn't happen when everything is easy. It happens in the moments we felt unsure, overwhelmed, or afraid, and chose to keep going anyways. That 8-year-old version of me thought the dream was getting into Linfield. Standing here now, I realized the dream was never just about getting here. It was about this. It was the people that was sitting beside us. It was about the friendships that shaped us. It was about the moments we didn't know would matter until they became everything. And now, we're here at the moment we once worked so hard to reach. The moment that once felt so far away suddenly feels too close to hold on to. Because as much today is a celebration, it's also a goodbye. Goodbye to the routines that we once complained about. Goodbye to the places that quietly became our home. Goodbye to the people who turn ordinary days into unforgettable ones. And maybe the hardest part is realizing we didn't know these were the last when we were living them. The last class, the last late night conversation, the last time everything felt this familiar. We always think there will be one more time, but now, time is asking us to let go. If you feel a little ache today, if your chest feels tight or your eyes fill up, it's because something here mattered. It's because this place, these people, and these years became a part of you. And that's not something you just walk away from. Because even as we leave Linfield, we don't leave each other. We carry these years in who we are, in how we love, in how we show up in the world moving forward. And maybe that's what makes this moment so bittersweet. Because the dream that brought us here is ending. But the people we became because of it, that stays with us forever. So wherever life takes us next, may we carry a piece of this place and a piece of each other with us. Because Linfield didn't give us a place to learn, it gave us the courage to become. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2026. This is only the beginning.
Will the candidates for graduate degrees, Master of Science and Master of Science in Nursing, and the candidates for bachelor's degrees, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, and Bachelor of Science in Nursing, please rise if able. President Blagan, on the recommendation of the faculty and trustees, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled all requirements prescribed by the faculty and recommend them for the baccalaureate or master degrees appropriate to their courses of study.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degrees Master of Science, Master of Science in Nursing, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, and Bachelor of Science in Nursing. I invite each of you to the platform to receive your diploma bearing the seal of the university as appropriate to your course of study. You may be seated.
As the names of the graduates are read, undergraduates will be recognized for achieving exceptional overall grade point averages. On a 4.0 scale, those with averages of 3.65 to 3.79 will graduate cum laude. 3.8 to 3.89 will graduate magna cum laude, and 3.9 to 4.0 will graduate summa cum laude. Graduate student honors are given to those with a 3.8 to a 3.89 average. Highest honors are given to those with a 3.9 to 4.0 average. Latin honors are only read for those students who have completed all requirements for their degree. Additionally, various members of the graduating class receive special academic honors. I draw your attention to the Honors and Awards section of today's program found online, which lists the various university and department-based honors and prizes. All incoming Linfield students at opening convocation have passed by a wooden bowl made from the historic old oak and claimed an acorn. Each acorn is a symbolic reminder of a student's connection to Linfield and the power of education to transform lives, their communities, countries, and the world. Students are asked to bring the acorn back to commencement so that it can be passed on to a new student in a future entering class. The class of 2026 will now complete the second part of this tradition. Before receiving their diplomas, each graduate will return an acorn to the Old Oak Bowl, and this fall, each student in our new entering class will claim an acorn from that same bowl as their journey begins at Linfield. We want to recognize all Linfield graduates today. Each of them is included in your digital program. We will be reading the names of the graduates who are present to receive their diplomas today. Those names will be read by Kevin Curry, Associate Professor of Journalism and Media Studies, Sonia Ticas, Professor of Global Languages and Cultural Studies, and Kiki Fornero, Associate Professor of Nursing. Graduates, please come forward to receive your diploma as your name is called. We will begin with the College of Arts and Sciences.
Ray E. Gerking, highest honors. Paige Michael Richards, highest honors. Zoe All, cum laude. Alexandra Claire Allen. Sarah Elizabeth Arpag. Ash Caitlin Bates. Colin Francis Belair, cum laude. Elizabeth Bernal Canedo. Ashley Ann Burns, magna cum laude. Madison Brooke Bockhorst. Scott Carl Brown, summa cum laude. Evelyn Rose Buckner, cum laude. Jack Elliott Burgess. Heather Noel Buxton. Sierra Faith Case. Esmeralda Castaneda Felix. Kirsten Ann Cole. Aaron Gerardo Serta, summa cum laude. Madeline Grace Chandler, summa cum laude. Mazerie Sophia Chandler. Grace Alexandra Christensen, cum laude. Gwyneth Jane Coleman. Lexi Andrea Pili Lehua Meke Maile Lau Li'i Correa. Joshua Ryan Cox. Josie Mae DeWitt. Brandon A. Dean. Emerson Michael Richmond Dennis. Leslie Isabel Diaz Lemaus, magna cum laude. Ren Luis Donahoe. Sydney Marie Downing, cum laude. Hadley Dunham, cum laude. Hayden Michael Agurin. Delina Elias. Karma Jean Elvin, summa cum laude. Druso Escalante. Kayla May Fagan. Emily Dawn Fender. Irving A. Flores Castro. Alexa Madison Fritz, cum laude. Reese Connor Gaines. Jack David Gallo. Carolina Garcia Arenas. Jacqueline Garcia Puccio. Raina T. Gurgis, summa cum laude. Marissa Lynn Goldstein. Noelia Gonzaga Soto. Daniela Gonzalez Rubio. Elisa Aurora Guerrero Regalado. Diana Sophia Gutwig. Mylene Guzman Anaya. Jenna Jo Hamrick. Jacob Tyler Harmon, magna cum laude. Brooke Nicole Hatch, summa cum laude. Jordan Elizabeth Hayes. Madison Abigail Hegney, magna cum laude. Sage Cheryl Hinkey, summa cum laude. Valerie Z. Herr. Melissa Hernandez Chavez. Vanya Carolina Hernandez Garcia. Joseph Higuchi. Tinley Hodge, cum laude. Blaze Kamayai Omakamai Holani. JD Aaron Holcomb, summa cum laude. Durham Maddox Hewson. Ilham Ekramullah. Lucy Nicole Ingham. Savannah Elise Irwin, magna cum laude. Aiden Christopher Jackson. Justice James Jackson, magna cum laude. Ernesto Jaime Ravadan. Donovan Wade Johnson, cum laude. Hannah Marie Johnston, cum laude. Hannah Renee Jones, magna cum laude. Reese Clara Jones. Avery Lane Kellum, magna cum laude. Brianna Kathleen Kerr. Brian Kilburn Keiss. Riona Keosue, summa cum laude. Ethan T. Klein. Ruby Ann Lactrup, magna cum laude. Andrew C. Lee. Taylor Jean Lishka. Faith Liliana Lloyd, summa cum laude. Taylor Ann Longhorn. Sharik Lopez. Jacob Orion Rain McFarland, summa cum laude. Dayton Isaiah Magana.
Brian Martin Mannion. Shiana Moon Mays, summa cum laude. Annalise McAuliffe. Angela McClaughlin. Gabrielle Louise McDermott. Abigail Mary Meader, summa cum laude. Ainsley K. Medina, summa cum laude. Ayana Isabel Medina. Ezra Kate Miller, magna cum laude. Grace Alexandra Miller, cum laude. Cynthia Minguez Cotto. Jacob Evan Moore. Logan Morrill, cum laude. Jacob Charles Muck. Matthew Benjamin Munyon. Jameson Allen Nemsek, summa cum laude. Elijah Ng. Quinton James Odell, cum laude. Zachary James Olson. Sarah Elizabeth Ornelas, magna cum laude. Julián Vicente Ortiz, summa cum laude. Tyla Lauren Patterson, cum laude. Venecia Pasos Castañeda. Alexis Grace Peck, summa cum laude. Luis Alberto Pérez Jr. Abisua Amisadai Pérez Díaz, cum laude. Riley Jacob Peterson, cum laude. Sofia Pietrock, summa cum laude. Lisa Christina Ponti, magna cum laude. Liliana Colby Prest. Kaiten Kainoa Preston. Dorothy Candle Proctor, cum laude. Kason Harry Reed, magna cum laude. Nicholas Michael Reggiani. Faith Ann Richards. Garrett Nicholas Ringer. Jordan Lee Roberts, cum laude. Logan Roberts. Brady Robertson, summa cum laude. Yaletsi Araili Rodriguez. Alexander Carl Robert Rosenquist. Jennifer Rosiles Malagón. Vicente Alejandro Ruiz Guzmán. Sofia Grace Sablehouse. Alicia Sánchez Ortiz. Juan José Sánchez. Rain Emil Santiago. Leslie Santibáñez. Nadia Luisa Santoyo. Ángela Serna Andrade, magna cum laude. Shreya Manshali Sharma. Alaisha Rhiannon Shelton Camus. Kiera Lynn Smith. Amelia Giselle Solt, summa cum laude. Paige Tyler Spady. David Allen Stevens, AKA Mac the Wildcat, summa cum laude. Connor Emery Tallman. Alex Alfonso Tapia. Kobe Aiden Taylor. Lindsay Diane Torres. Vivian Tran. Saraí Trujillo Reyes, magna cum laude. Miguel Vázquez Avendaño, cum laude. Rocco Velli. Makina Marley Vermeulen, summa cum laude. Aliyah Irene Ware, summa cum laude. Carson D. Washburn, cum laude. Aria Watanabe. Keegan Duane Weston. Cadogan Nelson Wheat. Madison Faith Wisenhunt. Elise Nicole White. Makai Tremetrius Williams. Jory Lee Wogmon, cum laude. Madison Ruth Woods, cum laude. Song Hugh Shi, cum laude.
Next, we will present diplomas to graduates of the School of Business. We will begin with those completing a Master of Science degree, followed by Bachelor of Science degree candidates.
Emily Rose Miller. David Michael Monfort. Katie Josephine Putnam. Divinson Lee Willis. Nolan Michael Scott Amon, magna cum laude. Eric P. Albias. Cole Anthony Alva. Alan Bolanos Gonzalez. Brody Joe Booz. Olivia Esmeralda Botella Lopez, cum laude. Mason Dre Bowles. Radule Bosevich II, summa cum laude. Jackson Robert Bowie. Eve Victoria Burke. Aiden Modesto Carroll. Caitlin M. Cedarberg, magna cum laude. Maxwell Clanton. David Contreras Rodriguez. Gabriella Lynn Christ. Mia Longfellow Curtaz, summa cum laude. Charles Isahaku Dayton. Madison Elizabeth Dickey, cum laude. Jasmine Dunford Tafoya. Michaela Rose Dunham. Taylor R. Falconer, summa cum laude. Rylan Jackson Gullard. Samuel V. Haynes. Joseph Lowell Henderson. Caitlin Suzanne Herbal. Chase Lee Heiberger. Evan William Hilberry. Ronan Wallace Hodge, summa cum laude. Nick Holm, cum laude. Kellen Michael Hudson. Wyatt Joseph Hurley, magna cum laude. Jocelyn Marie Jacobs. Eli J. Kennel. Kirsty Isabel Kepo, summa cum laude. Ella Marie Koblin, summa cum laude. Kate Ann Kraljev. Favorite student. Lucien Ryan Lefebvre. Brighton Linehan. Brooks Simon Lerfald. Xanady Kazel A. Matarang Brandis. Joshua Ryan Manser. Alex Marin Cuellar. Kaylin Suzanne McGrady, summa cum laude. Lucas V. McNabb. David Connor Mihalovich. Zachary Kai Nakajima. Joel Thomas Nelson. Theo Nicholas Netter. Zachary R. Netter. Emma Marie Oakley. Laurel Elizabeth Quinn, summa cum laude. Jaden Sophia Ray, cum laude. Owen Matthew Schoner. Evan Anthony Stafford. Jenna Lynn Stanley. Noah William Stanley. Blake Anthony Toski. Andrew Richard Troe. Trenton Blake Wainfield. Dakota Elizabeth Westfall. Matua Tomas Hakala Whalen. May Zhao Wilson. Wyatt Alfred Zagva.
We will now present diplomas to graduates of the School of Nursing, beginning with those completing a Master's of Science in Nursing degree, followed by a Bachelor of Science in Nursing candidates.
Christian Campbell Abdel Shahid. Justin John Benico Akala, honors. Lauren Elizabeth Aubrey, highest honors. Okay. Bailey Marie Beanato. Ikpreet Kaur Bella, honors. Mia Judy Corver, highest honors.
Maya Ray Kruger, highest honors. Brianna Renee Lyon. Alex James Martin, highest honors. Jason Mendel. Julio Cesar Orozco Jr., honors. Leanne Ryder. Monica M. Salib, highest honors. Retana Subandis. Nat Tao Amanda Tran Nguyen, honors. Charlotte Louise Underhill, highest honors. Andrea Yvonne Wallenberg. Emma Christine Webb, highest honors. Cassandra Shao, honors. Sasha Soraya Azami, magna cum laude. Anson Kainawa Agape. Cassandra Gabriela Anderson, cum laude. Jennifer Jeanne Ball. Camille Joy Tactoy Baptista. Jacqueline Rose Becker. Antonio Sixto Bilardes. Liliana May Bennett. Allison Hughes Berhow. Caleb Young Jian Bingham. Liliana Bolio Dominguez. Jenna Nicole Brassfield, cum laude. Natalie Lauren Brenda. Cleo Elise Brocius Steininger, summa cum laude. Tarina Nicole Caldera. Riley R. Canela, magna cum laude. Jacqueline Cardona, cum laude. Bailey Joe Chetwood. Gina Chu. Sadie Reese Cotton, cum laude. Carrie Philip Giomi Dakin. Victoria Tu Hong Dang. Audrey Claire Diaz. Manon Melody Diaz. Gretchen Emily Drews. Steve Duran. Kayana Noreen Duxbury. Mia Faye Fajardo, cum laude. Melanie Farusca Granados, cum laude. Hugh Brian Fitzgerald. Grant Harrison Freeman. Tess Marie Goff, cum laude. Daisy Yasmin Gomez. Edith Gonzaga Soto. Hannah Marie Greer, cum laude. Francisco Javier Guevara, cum laude. Isabella Gutierrez Rodriguez. Taryn Hiromi Hashiro. Jared Toshio Hayama, summa cum laude. Ashley Tabor Hayes. Mackenzie Dawn Hogue, summa cum laude. Sanai Itirian Lavadores, magna cum laude. Jennifer Joreguay Flores, cum laude. Kimberly Nicole Johnson, cum laude. Minso Chung, cum laude. Nia Aviana Jimerson. Okay. Cynthia Kamau. Su Yang Zhu. Hanbi Kim. Lori Kenton. Nicholas Akira Kessler. Claudia E. Kirchner. Sophia Catherine Kleckner, cum laude. Mackenzie Crackle. Vanessa Melissa Lamas.
Andrew Tu Lee. Evelyn Jasmine Lee Hegarty, summa cum laude. Wendy Erin Leeper Love. Jordan Aaron Lee. Young Kyung Catherine Lee. Evangelina Marie Lemus, cum laude. Jenny Link. Amy Lopez Toledo, cum laude. Betsy Loza. Stephanie Lucero Algandar. Teresa Marín Vázquez. Brenna McNulty. Amy Estela Méndez Vargas. Catalina May Monteiro. Cynthia Morales Ornelas. Andrew Bruce Morency. Allison Michelle Morley. Courtney Murakami. Emily Janae Myers, cum laude. Chong Tan Nguyen. Nguyen. Christian Patrick O'Connell. Peyton Faith Odell. Savannah Virginia Aller, summa cum laude. Amy Ann Osborne. Jessica Oseguera, cum laude. Jack Daniel Parrott, cum laude. Heather Irene Poole Fernandez, summa cum laude. Alicia Gail Rebano Posadas, cum laude. Price Aston Potier, summa cum laude. Shannon Haley Ragulski. Jennifer Rochelle Reed. Maribel Reynaga, magna cum laude. Alice G. Rong Rickett. Yesenia Vargas Rosales, cum laude. Alisa Renee Ruby, cum laude. Michael Clayton Smith, magna cum laude. Shiloh Gail Scott, cum laude. Kaylee Marin Scotland. Sean Ashley Sates. Thea Schatzer, magna cum laude. Zane Singleton. Haley Marie Steiger. Brenda Jean Steurer. Isaac Christian Stowell, summa cum laude. Mary Elizabeth Sturley, cum laude. Emily Elizabeth Sullinger, cum laude. Valerie Setsuko Tomita, magna cum laude. Athena Ray Turner. Taylor Jean Vandenborn, magna cum laude. Isabela Maria Baquerano. Haley Lynn Wadsworth. Heaven Marcella Wallach, magna cum laude. Kelsey Morgan Williams, summa cum laude. Sophie Christina Woodburn, cum laude. Harmony Wortham. Juliana Angelica Yurshenko, cum laude. Katia Zaragoza, cum laude. Abraham Lassen Slotowski. Jacqueline Zúñiga. Yang Hong Zhen.
Graduates, please stand if you are able. The caps and gowns we're wearing today are part of the deep history of higher education and link us to the university graduates who came before us and those who will come after. One of the traditions we follow involves the tassels on your cap. Undergraduates wear them on the right before the ceremony, but will march out today with them on the left, indicating they are no longer students and are considered graduates. So class of 2026, I now invite you to move your tassels from the right side to the left. Thank you and congratulations. You may now be seated.
As we close the ceremony today, I want to offer a final word to the Linfield University graduates of 2026. It has been a privilege to get to know many of you, to hear your stories, to learn about your experiences, and now to cheer you on to your next chapter. You have approached challenges with resilience, supported one another with compassion, and contributed your talents to this university community in meaningful ways. Today marks the completion of your time as students, but it is also the beginning of your lifelong connection to Linfield. Wherever your path leads next, I hope you carry forward the curiosity, courage, and sense of community that helped shape your experience here. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, the faculty, and the staff of Linfield University, congratulations. We are proud of all you have accomplished, and we are honored to welcome you to the community of Linfield alumni. We will now receive the benediction from the University Chaplain, Steve Sherwood. You are invited to stand, and then please remain standing for the singing of the first verse of the alma mater, which will be led by 4 graduates from the class of 2026, Lucy Ingham, Rain Santiago, David Stevens, and Madison Woods. You will find the words of the alma mater in the digital program. After the verse, the audience may be seated for the recessional. Members of the platform party, followed by the faculty and staff, will recess first and form a gauntlet through which our graduates will exit the commencement green. Audience members, please remain in your seats until the final graduate has recessed out. Afterward, we invite you all to join students, faculty, and staff in the Oak Grove behind the platform for reception. Tent canopies will be marked by school and college. And before you leave today, consider taking time to appreciate an annual tradition that showcases senior artists. The senior bench is located next to Pioneer Hall behind the commencement green. This year's bench was designed and painted by class of 2026 seniors Ezra Miller and Zibby Spencer. Thank you both. Now please stand as you are able for our benediction.
So now here you are at the end of this ceremony, and more significantly, at the end of your student time at Linfield. You have much to celebrate and much in which to take pride. You go now into a world that is both very different, but also much the same as this one. A world filled with joys and wonders, adventures, and ever more things to discover. A world also beset with challenges and injustices, brokenness and need. We encourage you to meet that world with open and courageous hearts. We have faith that you will build and leave legacies of goodness, truth, kindness, love, and justice wherever you go and with everyone you encounter. Amen.